Moto G31 review. The triple camera array on this model has been downgraded from a 64MP main camera and 2MP depth sensor to 50MP, 8MP wide, and 2MP respectively. Since 5G coverage is still limited, the G31 being 4G only isn't really a problem. However, it does raise doubts about how long the phone will be up to date. In addition to lacking a rear camera, the Moto G31 is slightly smaller than its predecessor but still carries a weighty design with a 181 grams chassis and 6.4 display. Even so, it's 16 grams lighter than last year's model and just half a millimeter thicker at 8.6 millimeters. The borders are still noticeable, mainly around the bottom of the apparatus, and once more we are assigned a perforated selfie camera at the center of the screen. Rescinding to 3 lenses unquestionably results in a cleaner camera system when spun over, with the sensors arrayed on its top left corner. They protrude somewhat but are not essential enough to evoke any serious sway when placing the device face down. The Motorola phone has been skinned with a finely textured finish featuring curved thin lines that spread out from the camera section, which negates the need for an optional transparent plastic case. It may be difficult to discern at first glance, but this subtle extra provides enhanced grip. On the back of the Motorola phone is a circular logo, separating the fingerprint reader from the power button moved to the right side. In my opinion, this change was beneficial as it allows for an easier grip while using the device. The Motorola phone looks great, and despite its slimness, there's still a 3.5mm headphone jack on the top. A second SIM or microSD card can be added via the SIM card holder for more storage. That's particularly useful as the lower priced model only has 64GB of storage. Our colorimeter verifies the enormous growth, taking in 92.6% of the sRGB gamut with a size of 93.5% and a regular Delta E rating of 1.46. That implies you are getting an exact screen for the cost, and as its sole edge you're also obtaining internal differentiation, which IPS can't surpass. It's likewise over 100 CD per square meter more intense, at 440 CD per square meter, which is not usually what you'd anticipate from a move to OLED. Personally think this is an advantageous exchange, yet you may prefer smoothness to contrast and hue accuracy, especially if you need to play particular games with superior frames per second. If a device doesn't meet the standards of performance, Motorola has taken an unorthodox move by switching from Qualcomm to MediaTek's Helios G85. So, the Moto G30 is powered by the Snapdragon 662, which is an octa-core 2 GHz chip, thus offering similar performance. The results are somewhat inconclusive in terms of performance, as the difference between them is minor enough that it can't be noticed. However, one can wonder if regressing to a lesser degree of performance is satisfactory, especially when the device costs more than its competitors. Though the positives can't be overlooked, with its impressive battery life, the MediaTek processor is evidently incredibly power efficient. The Moto G31 outlasted its competition in our battery test, lasting through a full day of looped video. If reliability is your top priority among this selection of phones, the Moto G31 is your best pick. As noted earlier, the Moto G31 moves from 4 camera lenses to 3, and its primary sensor goes from 64MP to 50MP, creating a downgrade in comparison to the previous generation. Doing 3 cameras skillfully surpasses carrying out 4 poorly, and the technical specifications of the Moto G31 setup are still quite encouraging. The central 50MP camera has an f/1.8 aperture, accompanied by an 8MP wide lens with an f/2.2 detector. The final 2MP lens is designed for macro photography, and though the detail may sound limited, honestly it's not something you'll be inclined to utilize enormously. Nevertheless, there's a slight lag between pushing the shutter and the camera capturing the picture, which can be quite vexing when trying to catch moments in time. This makes it more likely to get blurry images as well. Leapfrogging over any challenges, even in dim illumination, the Moto G31 can hold its own. This is a photo of my garden, just as the sun is going down. Many people find the Moto G31 quite likable for its top-notch screen, long-lasting battery, and decent camera that can take great photos with a bit of effort.